Welcome again to today's class. I'm from Chydonns, the coordinator of the Chydonns Academy. Now, we want to discuss statistics. Introduction to statistics. What is the meaning of statistics? Statistics deals with collection, analysis, and representation of data. That is, three things is what we talk about in statistics. Collection of data, analysis, and representation. Of data. Singular form of data is noted to be datum. This data can be divided into two. Discrete data can be divided into two. Discrete data and continuous data. What do we mean by discrete data? Discrete data is said to be data that can be counted. All the data that can be counted is classified to be discrete data. Example, number of coconuts in your farmland, number of students in the class. You know you can count them, so you call them discrete data. What do we mean by continuous data? It simply means data that can be measured, such as your mass, your weight, your height. You can measure it with a lot of measuring instruments. So you classify them as continuous data. Statistics is broadly divided into two. One, descriptive statistics, and two, analytical statistics. So what do we mean by descriptive statistics? In descriptive statistics, it makes no prediction, it makes no conclusion from the data it collected. It makes no prediction, it makes no conclusion from the data it analyzed. Now, in analytical statistics, from the analytical, it means that it is a type of statistics that make prediction or conclusion from the data already collected and analyzed. So this deals with making prediction or conclusion after analyzing its data, while this one does not make prediction or conclusion after analyzing its own data. And as we said earlier before, we say statistics deals with collection, analysis, and representation of data. What do we mean by collection? In collection of data, it can be in two ways. One of the ways is called, you can collect this as ungrouped data. Ungrouped data. This ungrouped data can be called raw data. What do we mean by collection of data such as or classified as ungrouped data or raw data? What do we mean by raw data? When you have, let's say, the scores of the following students, the scores of 6 students in a test are 2, 3, 1, 4, 3, 5. They say the scores of 6 students in a class, the scores of 6 students in a mathematics test is given as you can see. Now they said, what type of data or what way of collecting data is this? This is raw data or ungrouped data. Why do we call it raw data? It is because the scores are written one after the other using comma to separate one from the other. Okay? So what you now do is that this is raw data. It is noted that raw data can be packaged in a tabular form. I can package it this way and say this is scores and this is what? Frequency. Frequency simply means number of occurrence. You start with 1. 1 appear how many times? 1. 2 appear how many times? 1. 3 appear how many times? 2. 4 appear how many times? 1. 5 appear how many times? 1. This is also raw data or ungrouped data packaged in a table, or ungrouped data packaged in a table. So when you package it in a table, you have it this way. Another way of collecting data is called group data. In group data, it has what we call class intervals, such as they can give you 20 to 24, 25 to 29, etc. So when you have intervals, you call it group data. It is grouped. Okay? Now, in analysis of data, you can analyze it as measures of central tendency. Other measures of central tendency, you have mean, median, and mode. Mean, median, and mode. Then you can also analyze it as measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion. Examples of measures of dispersion are, you talk about range, mean deviation, variance, and standard deviation. Okay, these are what we discuss on measures of dispersion. Then another way is measures of position or location. Measures of position or location. What do we analyze here? We analyze the quarters, that is dividing the frequency or total frequency by 4. We also analyze the deciles, that is divide the total frequency by 10, and percentile. Okay? Under representation of data, we represent this as pictogram, in form of pictograms. We also represent it as pie chart. Pictogram make use of pictures. Pie chart, for pie chart, you make a circle and use a protractor, get the angle they ask you to get. Maybe you get here, you call it A, B, C. So each of them must have the angle that make it up. This is pie chart. Then you can also represent it as histogram. Histogram. Remember, histogram is used to get the mode. Look at typical example of histogram. Graph of frequency against class boundaries. When you have it this way, no space in between the boxes. This is the highest point. This rectangular shape is the highest point. You trace it to this point, trace it to this point, then trace it to the middle. Trace it to here and get the figures that will be here. Get what here will give you. Once you get what here will give you, that is your mode graphically. Now, what do you mean by histogram polygon? We can represent it as histogram polygon. Histogram polygon means the middle of this, you mark it. And use your ruler, connect. Connect it with a straight line. Use your ruler, connect it. This is histogram polygon. But when you put it in form of curve, it becomes histogram curve. So you can put it as histogram curve as well. You can also represent it as ogive. Ogive or percentile graph. Ogive or percentile graph. That is the graph of cumulative frequency against class boundary. You can also represent it as bar chart. Bar chart. Remember, bar chart is divided into three. We have simple bar chart, multiple bar chart, and component bar chart. So they are divided into three: simple bar chart, multiple bar chart, and component bar chart. What do we mean by bar chart? Bar chart, the space from here, if I plot this rectangle, the same space I give is the same space I will also give. So in bar chart, the space is made up of rectangles in which the distance between the distance or the space you have from one to the other, they are equal. And the width of the rectangles are also equal. So, but that is different from the case of histogram. No space should be given. Okay? So, all this we discuss on statistics, we will discuss them one after the other so that you see what all of them is all about. Now, in the next video, we'll start with measures of central tendencies. As we go to measures of central tendency, we solve it under ungrouped data first, then we also solve it under group data. Same with measures of dispersion, we solve it under ungrouped data and group data. And measures of position, we solve it under group data and ungrouped data. So we have a lot to enjoy in this video. Don't forget to click subscribe so that you get notified as we will upload the subsequent part of this video, and click like as you enjoy the video. Remember, this is just introduction to statistics. See you next time. Take care.